Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given at the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene a workshop and a regular meeting on Tuesday, March 17, 2015, at 5:35 p.m. and 6 p.m. in the Commission's chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Workshop, 5:35. Presentation regarding Little Free Library.
Would those present please step forward? I read an article on this. This is where the article is. You want to talk? You want to present? I know the people in my neighborhood won't steal them. They won't use it for a birdhouse.
Hello, I'm Leo Barn.
I'm Carlos Baez.
And I'm Rebecca Villarreal. And we're here today to present you guys a project that we joined, and it's called Take a Book, Leave a Book. The percentage by county of illiterate adult Texans: on the average, 19% of adult Texans can't read a newspaper.
According to National Center for Education Statistics, Cameron County's percentage of illiterate adults is 43%.
Ranking it the 8th most illiterate county in the state of Texas in 2003.
So where the red is, it's 40 to 100% of people that can't read a newspaper, and so it's all down there where the valley is, and we're in that area. And the green represents 0 to 9% of people that can't read a newspaper, and it's just above there. So we're in that area where it's just 40 to 100% of people.
Communication skills and general knowledge. So here we have 4 areas, and the blue represents Spanish-speaking households 14 years and older. So in Cameron Park, it's 99.4, Southmost 98.4, West Brownsville 80.2, and Olmito 83.9, which is where our school is located.
And the education process attained less than 9th grade with people that are 25 years and older. In Cameron Park, it's 54.1%, Southmost 41.9%, West Brownsville 12.4%, and Olmito 36.3%.
The reason for our project was to spread literacy amongst our community. Literacy is a word that momentarily goes around as just being able to read, but it's much more than that. It's being able to do day-to-day tasks, understanding legal and financial documents, and being able to communicate with those around you.
So here in these photos, we have people doing day-to-day things, communicating, and reading really, I know, as you guys know, helps your dialect and your knowledge, and it increases it. So it's good to read because it always helps you with things in everyday life. We joined a worldwide project called Little Free Library. The purpose of the Little Free Library is to spread literacy.
We wanted to bring one to our community so that we can improve our literacy rate and help the people in our county improve their communication skills.
Reading helps you gain knowledge and allows you to grow into a wiser adult. In our Little Free Library, you can simply take a book and read it, or leave a book for others to read.
So in the first picture, that's the actual website, and if you go on there, our information is there. So we're with them, and that's their logo, and it's just a worldwide thing. We started by going to our Charters book club with a proposal to be a part of our project, and they jumped on board.
With their help, we hosted a book drive in our school to stock our library.
In order to get students more motivated about donating books, we offered an incentive to include their name in a raffle for every book they brought in. 10 lucky winners received a free Wingstop for lunch.
Our overall book drive was a success. In total, we got donated 267 books from just our school area.
Community donations. To actually start building our project, we needed materials. So we went around looking for donations, and Lowe's was nice enough to donate the majority of the materials. And in return, we put their logo on our little free library.
To start building the Little Free Library, we asked our construction technology class if they could build it for us as soon as we got the materials from Lowe's. They then got started, and it took them approximately 2 weeks to finish building it.
To promote our project and get our community excited about the Little Free Library, we went to Falk Middle School and talked to the students.
We then learned that Falk's library had a scarce amount of books, and most of the kids already read every single book in their library.
When we presented our project to them, they began to get extremely excited that it would soon be located in their southmost area.
So here in these photos, we went to classes, reading classes in Falk, and the teachers had let us know about the students, how most of them already read all the books in the library, and they were really excited about the idea, and they were just wanting to gain information on when it would be settled and stuff.
During these processes, our Little Free Library was getting completed for us to install temporarily in our school library. Here we are finishing it up and giving it final touches so that it would be ready.
With our Little Free Library completed, we temporarily installed it in our school for people not only inside our school, but outside our school to come and take a book or leave a book for others to read.
With it still progressing, we hope to establish it in the southmost area.
We hope that the impact of the Little Free Library serves as a good purpose for others to be encouraged to read.
Anna Quinlan wrote, "Books are the plane and the train and the road. They are the destination and the journey. They are home."
May I ask a question?
Yes.
So if someone wants to donate books to the project, how would they do that?
They could leave it with us at our school because we have it in our school for now. We have it here. But if they want to leave it, they can have, if they have books, they could go and they can leave it in there for others to go get and read.
And are there age ranges of books that you want donated?
No, we're taking any books. We have a big variety there, but it's just any.
So even adult novels? It doesn't have to be a children's book?
No, it doesn't have to be necessarily children's.
Okay. Is there one person that maybe you can leave a contact with the city staffs in case someone has a question about the project?
Yes, we can leave our teacher, Ms. Araujo, her number, and she, is conducting.
Okay. That's great.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Presentation regarding the Brownsville Performing Arts Academy.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Commission. I'm very excited today to provide, or to give you an update on where we are in the process for renovating the Stegman Building to become a Brownsville Performing Arts Academy. As mentioned before, the city is investing $2.25 million in HUD funds. HUD has been noted by saying that this is the best HUD investment the city has ever made, given the nature of the programming that will take place. Of course, this is part of our downtown revitalization efforts as the building takes nearly a half block, and fingers crossed construction will run concurrently with Market Square renovations. This is what the Stegman Building looked like. These are some of the designs proposed. Before I go on with some of the general information of where we are in the bid process and deadlines and things like that, I want George Ramirez. He's a great storyteller. He can give you the best example of what's going to take place here, and he can tell it to you better than I can. George Ramirez, Executive Director for the Brownsville Society for Performing Arts.
Music, please. Well, Commissioners, pleased to be here. Thank you very much for this opportunity. For the sake of brevity, I'm going to skip everything on BSPA. You know, I won't elucidate on any of that, but you're already familiar with But back when we did the study on the Capitol Theater back in 2001, that was done by the Playhouse Square Foundation guys out of Cleveland, they determined that we did a cultural needs assessment, and the biggest need that they identified was children's programming for the whole city of Brownsville. And this, we were contemplating building a theater or not, but what they identified right off the top was children's programming. We've advanced quite a bit since 13 years ago when we did this study, but still the fact remains, right? So, and although the city has made a substantial investment in parks, sports, outdoor recreational activities, and for kids, you know that, for instance, lately we did with the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts, we did free classes, art classes and fine arts education to almost 10,000 kids in 1 year that Marcela Hinojosa did at the Museum of Fine Arts. So there's a big need for it and demand for it. The kids really enjoyed. Insofar as, with the sole exception of a few classical guitar courses in guitar, actually at Lopez High School, there's no classical music training by BISD of any kind. Okay, they have all kinds of millions of dollars and all kinds of other bands and things, but nothing in classical music, piano, strings, none of that, zero. So there's also, when you look at, you know, what's, especially from the perspective of HUD, and you look at classical music training and dance, you know, I've served for many years as master of ceremonies, a bunch of other things for ballets, private ballet and dance academies here in Brownsville. And the average, their minimum per kid is $2,000 a year for a child to go to ballet school. So we can pretty much guarantee that there's not a single kid in the Buena Vida neighborhood that's taking ballet, right? Not one, right? So what we've done is that we've worked out a partnership with UTB Music, okay, and they have a program called the UTB Music Academy, now UTRGV Music Academy, where they actually have children go in there somewhere deep inside the campus, and they get classical music training and vocal training from the either the faculty or students, juniors and seniors of and that they're studying for their musical education bachelor's degree. So this costs anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a year that they provide. So what they've done is they've agreed to hold those classes in the Stegman building, and if we implement a methodology called El Sistema, which is the cutting edge methodology for teaching classical music to children starting from 3 years old. This is like, there's over 300 of these. This is a world-class program. There's already 300 of them here in the United States. The closest one is in San Antonio. But we hope to implement El Sistema here in Brownsville. And what El Sistema is predicated on is that there's a nucleo, which is actually a physical building, where these classes take place. And usually they're in neighborhoods with really, you know, at-risk neighborhoods of all, you know, the most radical, really, what they've done in Venezuela and Brazil and other places. But basically what it is, that it's a safe place for them to go after school, and this is where they're going to learn classical music training. So if we're hoping to get matching funds, dollar for dollar if possible, from HUD or CDBG or other grants, to match the monies that we can generate from the Music Academy holding classes at the Stegman building to give the same quality education to the kids that don't have any money. It's a pretty cool deal all around. I don't see how you can, it's a total Robin Hood deal, but you're not even stealing from the rich, you're actually so anyway, we're really hopeful that this takes over. This would be something that really hang our hat on Brownsville-wise. You know, and we're looking forward to having it happen. Thank you very much.
Thanks, George. Thank you, George.
So where we are specifically in the process is we went out for bids on February 15th, and we were scheduled to close this week on the 19th. We're going to go ahead and grant a 2-week extension. There was a lot of interest in the project, so we're going to see how that pans out. We anticipate a 14-month construction time frame, and it'll be 3 construction phases. So we'll do the structural and interior, and then the first floor and the second floor, 1 ballet, 1 music. The delay, and we've been anticipating this project for so long, but the delay was actually due to us working out the kinks with the Texas Historic Commission to make sure that we preserve the integrity of this building. So again, we're very excited about this project. We hope that you will support it all the way through, and I'm free to entertain any questions that you may have. Well, thank you very much.
All right, we're going to stand in a 10-minute recess, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Thank you. Begin with the regular meeting.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. Remove all covers. Remove all covers, please. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. I'd like to welcome Pastor Lance Hostetter from Central Christian Church on Alton Glory to please join us for the invocation. Thank you, Pastor.
You join me in prayer. Lord, we thank you for those that give of their time to serve our city. And we thank you for our school teachers, our social workers, our policemen, firemen, medical personnel, attorneys, and judges, and for so many that volunteer their time and efforts to our great city. Lord, I ask that you'll guide the agenda today to reflect the best interests of our citizens. Lord, I pray that you'll help us to grow as a city in good taste and character. And now, Lord, I pray that regardless of our faith background, we'll continue to use the example of the Holy Scriptures as a basis for all that is good and right. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 I'll ask everybody to please remain standing for just 1 second, please. And the reason for Mayor Martinez's absence today is with the passing of his mother-in-law. So I'd like to keep Ms. Carla Saenz Martinez, his wife, and may the Lord have in his presence Ms. Judy Saenz. And we also in our community had the sudden loss of Ms. Evelyn Dale. So I'll ask for just a moment of silence, please. Amen. Thank you. Mr. City Secretary, before we begin, let the minutes show that Mayor Martinez is on an excused absence, not to reflect anything because of a family situation.
Will do. Activity update. And then
Does anybody have any activity reports they'd like to share?
I
Commissioner
just want
Jetro?
to let everybody know that this Saturday, the 21st, we are having our annual District 2 graffiti cleanup. We had a very, very, very successful time the last time we went out with our police chief and our police department and our municipal court. What we basically did was we found the children that were marking our homes, our fences, even our cars. And we went out with those children, we mentored them, and we let them know, we let them speak to the homeowners. And unfortunately, we have a new group of kids. It's not the ones that we did before, but we are going to go back and mentor. And for as long as we need to, we're going to be doing that. And so this Saturday, we're requesting volunteers. It's a very, very big task. It's a lot of work. Anybody who's ever painted anything, it looks like it's not, but it's a lot. So we're requesting if you have any high school students, any teachers out there, I would be more than happy to write a letter of recommendation to any college for any student who gives up their Saturday and comes out and helps us tackle this graffiti issue. So we're going to be meeting at 8:30 in the morning at Portway Acres Park. It's right across the street from Perkins on Austin Road, and we will be there bright and early with our paintbrushes. So I welcome anybody out there. Please, please come and help us. Your presence makes a big difference. We need to stick together as a community and tackle this issue. This is our home. Anybody whose home has been offended, you can call our hotline helpline, and we can get you on the list. And big thank you to Keeping Brownsville Beautiful for supplying everything and helping us coordinate this effort. So we'll be out there at 8:30. Another announcement I wanted to make at Portway Acres Park is our Easter party, which is April the 2nd. We're having our annual egg hunt for the children of our city. If anybody is interested in donating even just like a bag of candy or plastic eggs, you can bring them to our Parks Department. A little bag of eggs goes a long way. We have thousands of children that show up, and we want to make sure that everybody has a bucket full of eggs on their way home. So if anybody's interested in helping, they can bring them to City Hall, or they can take them to our Parks and Rec, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All of your effort makes a big difference. Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner Tetreault.
Just an update on the Biggest Loser Challenge. We are going strong, about halfway through the challenge, a little bit over halfway. Over 1,200 people registered in total for the challenge that goes across citywide. We'd like to thank all of our multiple sponsors. Most recently, the Public Utilities Board hosted a very great day at HEB, as they do every year, and a big thank you goes out to them. Stay tuned to the website for upcoming events every single weekend. Speaking of that, Ciclovia got rained out last weekend because of the rain, but we will be having our first Ciclovia for 2015 this Sunday, March 22nd, from 12 to 5. Remember that we are moving the route around the city into each district this year, and we're starting with Morrison Road between Paredes Line and Pablo Quisel. There are over 10,000 views on the Ciclovia Facebook page, another 5,000 on the challenge page, and over 6,000, all which came in on Saturday afternoon to find out whether or not Ciclovia was going to be held on Sunday. So it certainly has captured the attention of thousands of people around the city. So please come out and see what all the fuss is about. It's really a lot of fun, and most of all, it's free. The other thing to let you know is check out those Facebook pages for multiple rides that are happening to get to Ciclovia. This season, we're challenging folks to ride your bike to the Ciclovia. So there is one, for instance, with over 100 people registered that's going to be leaving Market Square the morning of Sunday morning to head towards the Ciclovia route. And we are going to have a picture contest for this Ciclovia, and if it goes well, we may repeat that. We will be having two $50 gift certificates that will be given to the best photo with the most likes category and the committee favorite category. The most likes photo will be decided by the photo taken and posted to the Ciclovia page during Ciclovia that has the highest number of likes by 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, March 22nd. The committee favorite photo will be decided by the Ciclovia committee after the event and will be chosen out of all of the photos posted to the Ciclovia Facebook page during Ciclovia and after. All of the photos posted to Ciclovia Facebook page must be family friendly and appropriate for all ages. Please be considerate to all persons who may view the Facebook page when posting photos. The managers of the page have also the right to remove any photos that seem inappropriate. So for more information, check out the Facebook page or call Kendra Stein at the Health Department, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you, Commissioner Gao. And just real quick, I'd like to make mention that I've been at several community events, and one person out of maybe at least 70 or 80 know about 546 HELP. 546 HELP, which is once again 546-4357, has been in existence for 3 years already. If you have potholes that need to be covered, if you live next door to a weedy lot, if you've got a general complaint, other than removing your city commissioner, we just, you can't call 546 HELP for that one. But for all other general complaints, that is the number to call. Okay, if you've got a complaint around the city with what's going on in your ditches, with what's going on in your streets, you need to call us at 546-4357. Once again, this program has, this function, if you will, at the city has been already in existence for 3 years. And even though we do get a high volume of calls, we are averaging 2,300 calls per week? 3,200, sorry, my dyslexic moment. 3,200 calls a week, and not that we need more, but we need to hear from you. Sometimes you already know the callers by name, right? So it's people that are already informed, people that already know about the numbers. So please, if you could help us spread the word, jot it down on your phone number. We do have it on our television channel, on channel 12, and it's 546-4357. When we go into an emergency, whether it be a hurricane or any other kind of emergency, that's also the number that you're to call for whatever information you need. If your electricity goes down, if you have a problem and you need PUB's assistance, and for some reason the 93-6100 they're not answering, this is where you can call. We can help you with Allied Waste BFI. We can help you with that. So please take advantage of it. And we're doing reach out. We've been doing reach out for the last 3 years. We do it through our hurricane fair. We do it through all our events at the community, and we want this department to grow, but the only way we can do it is by everything, and it's on our app. Thank you, Joe. It's also on our app at the city. So once again, it's just to reach out and let everybody know about 546-HELP, 546-4357. And please take advantage of it, because that's the way in the past, not that we don't mind getting the phone call. If you call your city commissioner, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call Odie at the hotline, and we're gonna put a work order, because now everything that gets reported is issued a work order, and you as a citizen, you're given a work order number, and that work order has to be fulfilled. So please, take advantage of it. Thank you. We'll continue. Proclamations.
Doctor's Day.
Commissioner Portillo? Is there somebody here receiving the proclamation on behalf of Doctor's Day?
Dr.
Would you
Gowan?
do us an honor? Okay. Commissioner Portillo, please read it.
A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, designating March 30th, 2015 as Doctor's Day. Whereas the first Doctor's Day was held on March 30th, 1933 in Winder, Georgia, when Eudora Brown Almond, wife of Dr. Charles B. Almond, decided to set aside a day to honor physicians. And whereas Eudora Brown selected March 30th to commemorate the work of Dr. Crawford W. Long, who first used ether anesthesia on March 30th, 1842 in Jefferson, Georgia, to make surgery painless. And whereas the first Doctor's Day was marked by the mailing of commemorative cards to the county's physicians and their wives, and by the laying of flowers on the graves of Dr. Crawford W. Long and other deceased doctors. And whereas there are approximately 894,000 total physicians in the United States, with approximately 57,815 practicing in the state of Texas. And whereas the red carnation is commonly used as the symbolic flower for National Doctors' Day and signifies qualities of love, charity, sacrifice, and bravery. And whereas on March 30th, 1958, the United States House of Representatives adopted a resolution commemorating Doctors' Day. And whereas on October 30th, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed a joint resolution, Public 101-473, designating March 30th, 1991 as National Doctors' Day in the United States. And whereas by observing Doctors' Day, Brownsville, Texas joins Congress in recognizing the contributions of physicians in enlarging the reservoir of scientific knowledge, increasing the number of scientific tools, and expanding the ability of health professionals to use the knowledge and tools effectively in the never-ending fight against disease. And whereas observing Doctors' Day also recognizes physicians for the sympathy and compassion they show in maintaining the mental and physical health of our citizens, ministering to the sick, and alleviating human suffering in many different healthcare settings. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, in order to recognize and honor physicians for the care they provide and the contributions they have made to advance the field of medicine, do hereby designate Monday, March 30th, 2015 as Doctors' Day in our city. Done on this, the 17th day of March, 2015, Honorable Mayor Antonio Martinez and the City Commission.
So, as a physician, I'm happy to accept this proclamation in the name of all physicians in Brownsville, and look forward to a day when the medical school is up and running very soon, and training more physicians and healthcare providers to serve our community. Bless you.
Is this proclamation specific for somebody? No? Would you honor us in hanging this at Su Clínica Familiar? Sure. Thank you.
Nuts for Nutrition Day.
So proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, designating March 28th, 2015 as Nuts for Nutrition Day. Whereas the mission of Infant and Family Nutrition Agency is to give children in Cameron County a chance for a healthier start in life by equipping their mothers with the most current information about prenatal nutrition and health, breastfeeding, and infant, toddler, and family nutrition. The agency goals include to provide free bilingual education and peer counseling on prenatal health and nutrition, breastfeeding, infant, toddler nutrition, and family nutrition, and to encourage our communities to become involved in making healthy choices for themselves and their children. And whereas Infant and Family Nutrition Agency is a valuable partner with the City of Brownsville through Parks and Recreation Summer Program, the Health Department, the Challenge of Brownsville, the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, and the University of Texas School of Public Health. And whereas since 1985, Infant and Family Nutrition Agency has served the nutrition informational needs of Brownsville through breastfeeding education and peer counseling, prenatal nutrition education, and healthy eating classes. And whereas over 2,000 people are served each year through Infant and Family Nutrition Agency, with support from the United Way of Southern Cameron County, the United Way of Northern Cameron County, the Legacy Foundation, the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, and the Brownsville Foundation for Health and Education, and the Raul Tijerina Jr. Foundation. And whereas March is National Nutrition Month and Infant and Family Nutrition Agency is holding its 5th annual Nuts for Nutrition Run Walk on March the 28th, 2015 at the Brownsville Sports Park. Now therefore we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby designate March 28th, 2015 as Nuts for Nutrition Day, done on this 17th day of March, 2015, signed by the Mayor and the City Commission.
Thank you. You gonna speak, sir?
Congratulations. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything you do.
Well, of course, Dr. Gowan said it all. But I've got to say that seeking this recognition was a learning experience for me. In the process, I realized that infant and family nutrition is 30 years old this year, that it's National Nutrition Month, and perhaps even more important, it's National Nuts Month. So it's a perfect trifecta for national events to link with our historic 5th Nuts for Nutrition Run Walk. Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner Gowan. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brownsville Diabetes Alert Day.
Matt, we can have somebody from our staff take the picture if you'd like to join them.
That's okay, if you wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, proclaiming March 24th, 2015 as National Diabetes Alert Day in our city. Whereas diabetes is a serious disease that strikes nearly 30 million children and adults in the United States, and more than a quarter of them, about 8 million, do not even know they have it. And whereas an additional 86 million have pre-diabetes, which puts them at a high risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And whereas, unfortunately, diagnosis often comes 7 to 10 years after onset of the disease, after disabling and even deadly complications have had time to develop. And whereas early diagnosis is critical to successful treatment and delaying or preventing some of these complications, such as heart disease, blindness, kidney disease, stroke, amputation, and death. And whereas the American Diabetes Association Alert Day is held the 4th Tuesday in March and is a wake-up call asking the public to take diabetes risk test, which can be done at valleybaptist.net/diabetesalert or diabetes.org/alert during the Alert Day campaign, which runs March 24th through April 21st. And whereas Brownsville and the Rio Grande Valley have a very high incidence of diabetes, striking approximately 1 in 4 persons. And whereas the Valley Baptist Medical Center Brownsville Diabetes Education Program is dedicated to helping those with diabetes learn to manage the disease And together with the City of Brownsville, we are actively promoting a healthy and active lifestyle for all our residents. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby proclaim March 24th, 2015 as Diabetes Alert Day in our city. Done on this 17th day of March 2015, signed Antonio Martinez, the mayor, and the City Commission.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you? Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just real quick, my name is Mary Jane Sandoval, and I'm a certified diabetes nurse educator here at Valley Baptist. And like that Geico commercial says, did you know that there's a high prevalence of diabetes here in the Rio Grande Valley? Sure we do. But what we don't know is that, like Commissioner said, there's a higher incidence of also pre-diabetes or some that are undiagnosed. So Valley Baptist invites the community. We will be having a health fair March the 28th at the Sunrise Mall from 8 to 12, and we'll be offering free diabetic screenings, which include blood sugar checks, A1Cs, foot screenings, blood pressures, and BMIs. Yet diabetes is a manageable disease, but most of all, it's a preventable disease. So please go out there and talk to your families and relatives, and let's go and get educated, and hopefully be able to prevent this this epidemic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Presentations?
Cummings Middle School Student Council.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for the time. I just want to introduce this school. They contact us, the city and by Texas, to work with them on some projects they have for the Cummings Middle School. As you know, they're here in downtown. They're very active. A large percentage of their students walk or bike to school, and they requested a couple of the bike racks from the city that we're going to provide for them. But I'd like them to tell you more about what is their plan and what is their project. I just want to introduce them.
Take a picture. Okay. Go up there, take a picture. You're in the same grade.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce Roberto Salazar, Student Council sponsor, and Teresa Nunez, who's the principal at Cummings Middle School.
Good evening, members of the City Commission. My name is Roberto Salazar. I'm the sponsor of the Student Council at Cummings Middle School. I've come here today to introduce this wonderful group of individuals. And I say individuals and not kids because using kids would be grossly understating their value to our campus and our community. Their dedication is not only appreciated in our campus, but is an asset to our city as well. During their oath of office, I let everyone know that it'll be no surprise to me if in 15, 20 years to see them up where you all are sitting, hopefully not running against you, but it will be no surprise. As a former Cummings alum, it's a great honor having them following in my footsteps, although metaphorically speaking, they're leaving a much bigger footstep. And without further hesitation, I'm going to let the kids come up here and introduce themselves and their positions, followed by our Student Council President, who has some words.
Good evening. I'm April Reyes, and I'm Sergeant of Arms.
Good evening. My name is Shakira Six-Acosta, and I'm Representative Vice President. Sorry.
Good evening. My name is Micaela Garcia. I'm the treasurer.
Good evening. My name is Nita Vela, and I am the secretary.
Good evening. I'm Gilbert Garza, 6th grade Vice President.
Good evening, City Commissioners. My name is Rachel Reyes, Student Council President. First of all, I would like to thank you all for the opportunity for us to be here today to present Cummings Middle School. We would like to thank you for building the new sidewalk by the school. Now the students who attend the school have a better opportunity of arriving to and from school safer and on a timely manner. It also prevents students from walking on the street and causing car accidents. Although the sidewalk was a nice gesture that the school benefits from, I would like to promote the idea of putting streetlights as well. This morning I had noticed it was awfully dark outside because of the time change. So I would believe adding streetlights would benefit the students getting to school safer. It would also benefit the people walking outside late at night. Once again, I would like to thank you all for inviting us here and for building the sidewalk by the school. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Keep up the good work. Stay motivated. Thank you for bringing them. Thank you for coming. Great job.
So just want to thank you for the opportunity. These guys are great, and I think there are more schools like this that we have to find them. Thank you.
Roadmap to resiliency.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners. With me is Nick Mitchell-Bennett, who is the Executive Director of the Community Development Corporation of Brownsville. We are here to share information regarding what is the Rockefeller Foundation 100 Resilient Cities movement and the March 25th community conversation focused on how to continue working to become a stronger, more resilient community. Late last year, city staff and a few of its community partners, which included CDCB, the Housing Authority of the City of Brownsville, BC Workshop, and United Brownsville, began a conversation around housing and community development. And we looked at issues that greatly impact our residents' lives and well-being and the economy. And out of this conversation was a discovery that the city, with many of its partners, was already creating initiatives to survive, adapt, and to grow no matter what kinds of stresses and acute shocks are experienced. Also, we began to discuss the resiliency of Brownsville, which is grounded in all the positive momentum to strengthen our community as a prosperous, talented, healthy, safe, and engaged community. This led to an invitation to the Rockefeller Foundation to join us for a community conversation focused around its resilient framework, which is built on 4 essential dimensions of urban resilience. Brownsville's invitation was accepted by the Rockefeller Foundation, and on March the 25th, Peter Mandonia, Chief Operating Officer for the Rockefeller Foundation, will visit Brownsville to share the Rockefeller Foundation's unique framework and groundbreaking work in the area of resiliency. We'd like to share a short video which explains some of the work already underway through the Rockefeller Foundation's 100 Resilient Cities program around the world.
Urbanization is extremely rapid, and cities across the world are challenged.
We all have common threats. When the water rises, it wets everybody.
Yo pienso que lo más importante, y sin duda Medellín tiene mucho que aprender de otras ciudades.
You have 100 cities that will be learning from each other, and this network is something unique.
The first 33 cities were named. Since then, we've been working with points of contact in each city to begin to implement the 100 Resilient Cities program.
We live in a physically vulnerable place. More tough things are coming our way. We're not the only ones that are vulnerable, and it seems that cities across the world are.
Byblos, it's the oldest inhabited city in the world. Nevertheless, after 6,000 or 8,000 years, it has shocks and stresses that hinder or that threaten the city.
Para nós, resiliência é, acima de tudo, a capacidade de fortalecer as condições vitais da cidade.
Inequity is a huge problem, not only in Colombia, but in Medellin.
When you live in a developing country and a city where a lot of people come to dream, it's to me very important building the resilience of the individual to be able to move on those dreams.
It's about climate change, it's about heat waves, but it also should be about things that people take on every day in their real life: economic downturns, poverty, violence. These are things that have just as much of impact on their lives as a large earthquake.
The whole idea of resilience is if you spend more money on the front end being smart, you'll spend much less money on the back end and you'll save a lot of lives. So why wait?
We wanted to do a broad stakeholder meeting to introduce the concept of resilience, to identify challenges, opportunities, risks, and really lay out what the agenda for the resilience building effort might be.
But the critical moments to us are when the city really recognizes that it has a variety of different stresses that they need to focus on as well. These slow burning issues that exist despite a shock.
One of the things we've learned already is that we are very focused on a disaster or a major event. What this process is really teaching us is there are commonalities of how to strengthen our society and our communities that will benefit us in any kind of event.
One of the most innovative offerings of 100RC is this platform of tools and resources. These are funding opportunities, best practices, technology, technical assistance, both from the public and private sector, that cities will be able to tap into more efficiently, and that will serve as a distribution mechanism.
We're in the midst of developing a new urban resilience initiative, and the definition actually parallels very closely what the 100 Resilient Cities initiative is trying to do. It's critical for us that these issues get on the agenda. That's where the partnerships come in. That's where a group like 100 Resilient Cities comes in. They are there on the ground, generating the ideas, generating the information, and ultimately generating the investment projects. That can change the dialogue. It can change the number of cities who are focused on these issues.
Each of the cities has a unique risk profile. What we're really trying to convey is the importance of building economic resilience so that we can build resilience in all the other areas that we're focused on. Figuring out a coordinated way to promote that message, make sure that these cities are embedding that into their culture is something that we're trying to achieve, and using the initiative and having an audience of 100 cities that are all excited to really build resilience provides us with the right forum to do that.
If we're going to improve the resilience of cities, we need to be able to know where we're going, and we need to be able to measure resilience. When we started to develop the City Resilience Framework, which is a holistic understanding of what city resilience really means, we hadn't identified an end user. The fact that the Rockefeller Foundation announced the 100 Resilient Cities program, there are suddenly potentially 100 cities for who this framework is directly useful.
What will come afterwards is that almost every philanthropic organisation, a whole range of institutional investors will say, we want resilient cities.
I would say this is an historic occasion. All of the issues, from equity to urban planning and design to safety or law, innovative financing, will be more successful and long-lasting if done through the lens of building urban resilience.
One of the things that's exciting about doing these workshops back to back is our ability to recognize patterns both in the challenges that these cities face, but also in the solutions. And that's really going to be the promise, being able to distribute common solutions to many of our cities and doing it more efficiently and at scale.
They recognize the need to partner with us rather than view us as traditional grant makers, and collaborate so that they can achieve their unique vision of resilience for their city.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, Brownsville is the perfect resilient city. We are set, and we believe that we can be named one of the 100 resilient cities around the world. The city has already taken huge steps over the last 6-7 years toward resiliency and the different projects that it's been taking on. Big achievements, both in the economic world, in the health and wellness area, in infrastructure and environment, in society and economy. It's been wonderful to watch. It's been wonderful to be a part of. The fact that the Rockefeller Foundation and their COO, I tried to get the CEO, but she just wasn't available. But the CEO, the COO is Peter, is coming to speak to us about resilience. Ruth and I just thought we would invite someone to come and hopefully come and explain this concept to us. We were able to pull down the big dog, and we're excited about that. But they're excited about us is the really neat thing. Ruth and I have been speaking with them probably on a daily basis over the last week, and they seem to know more about us than I suspected. They knew all of the great things that have been happening here, all of the people that have been working here. They're excited to tour the wastewater cover project. They are excited to look at where the new power plant will be. They're excited to look at the disaster demonstration houses that we've been building at CDCB. They knew all this already. They were actually waiting for an invitation from us. And we are so excited for this. So we hope that all of you can be there. We hope that all of you can be there. We were hoping for about 75 to 80 people to join us on the day for Peter's discussion. We are now at a point of 130 people going to be there to hear him speak about resilience. We will then break out into some small working groups around some topics to hear ideas that the city has. And I mean, when I say the city, I mean the residents of the city have about resiliency. And then come back and share those with Peter. We'll also be touring the city and showing him some of these projects that I named over 2 days. They are going to be here with us for 2 days, and we are very excited. We believe that this is a framework to put all the wonderful work that's already been going on into. We could be hit by a hurricane very soon. It could be the big one. We already know that we have some economic issues that we're trying to change. We already know that we have health issues that we're trying to change. And this is really the framework that will help us, I believe, move us through some of that and become that. As well, and I know, Pete, you will like this, there's access to money to do a lot of this. And it's not something that you get when you get thrown in as 100 resilient cities, which we don't have yet, but we want to go after. But you do that, and like it said in the video, you get access to some of the smartest people in the world, as well as some of the biggest funders and investors in the world who are looking to cities like ours that are trying to be proactive and progressive about meeting our needs. And so you know, when the Rockefeller Foundation taps you, it's a big deal, and we're excited for this. So we hope through the next 6 months, as we prepare this kind of application, we can rely on everybody's support to do this for the city of Brownsville. Any questions? The Resiliency Conference or Symposium conversation, it'll be on March 25th at the Event Center, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll finish up at about 1. Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brownsville Convention Visitors Bureau quarterly report.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Commissioners, Mariano Bina Ayala, President and CEO of your Convention Visitors Bureau. I have with me our manager from the Scale House Visitor Center, Mr. Felix Espinosa. Nick Bennett, the CVB is here ready to help you with your effort. We'll help you with a tour and whatever we can. That's what we talk teamwork, and I'm very excited to say that in the last few years, Brownsville has really come together, and it's just so exciting to see all the efforts from every part of the city. First of all, I would like to show you the board of directors from the CVB. I'm not going to name them all. You probably know them all. But we do have a commissioner, a liaison, Mr. Commissioner John Villarreal. It sits on the board. And something that I've been wanting to do for a couple of years is show you our 2-minute video that we have on our webpage, and we can show this anywhere. We have it on Channel 12 also. I hope it works this time because we've been trying for a couple of years.
In the far reaches of the South Texas tropics, there is still a place full of tradition and rich in culture. A place of year-long celebrations, where its nature and wildlife are enhanced by the richness of a mighty river. There is a place where new frontiers were started. And history is still alive, where the local flavors blend into a festive ambience, infused by two great nations, whose international artists, musicians, and chefs bring it to life, and business thrives. What will you discover? Should you find yourself asking, does such a place really exist? Yes. Brownsville, a place that will keep you coming back, to make friends and lasting memories, where you'll always find a fiesta.
Thank you. What we mean by fiesta, not that we're a party town, what we say, somebody wrote to the editor of the Brownsville Herald the other day, and it was very exciting because the gentleman from up north said that when they first heard about Brownsville, they weren't too thrilled about it. But their friends kept saying, you need to go down there because the people are very friendly and the atmosphere is so out of sight that you're not going to want to leave. Well, they came down as winter techs, and sure enough, they haven't wanted to leave because they say the people here are super friendly, and what they were told is absolutely true and even goes beyond that. So that's why we love our 2-minute video. It's on Channel 12. If anybody has a civic club or a school district would like to show it, just call us and we'll be happy to share it. Remember, we're all ambassadors of the city of Brownsville, your city. You all sell Brownsville, not just us, we all do. And with that in mind, we got a call from news media the other day, and they said, hey, what happens during Char Day, spring break, and whatever? So we went ahead and put some figures together from the city, and this is from the Hotel Motel Occupancy Tax Report. And if you notice, in 2011 and 12, in January there was 83,000, February 97,000, March 142,000, for a total of 324,000. In 2012, 2013, January showed 99,900. Sorry for the mistake there. 112,000 in February and 161,000 in March, for a total of 373. In the year 2013 and 2014, in January, we had 105,692, February 119,298, and March 148, for a total of 373,000. What it's telling us, if you notice in January, when Char Days comes around, it goes up. It went from 83 to 99, etc. And then it goes up again in March. And in March, we have our spring breakers. So we have been doing fairly well in the last few years. Now, we haven't gotten the report out for this year. And next time I come, I'll be presenting you all with the stats that comes from the Governor's Office of Economic and Tourism Development, and they use source strategies. So I'm going to give you the state's figures next time I'm here. Some of the exciting things that we have coming along. In January, we had the University of Texas Brownsville graduate conference on undergraduate women in physics. I'm sorry to say that Dr. Cristina Torres, who brought this down, just passed away a couple of weeks ago. And her job, and when she visited with us, this is what she wanted to do, and we were all for it, and we're going to try our best to make sure it happens. We had 150 women from around the country, some from Stanford, some from Harvard, that are getting their doctorate in physics. And the whole purpose of bringing them to Brownsville is that we want them to finish their doctorate here in Brownsville, or A or B, start their careers here in Brownsville, because we have SpaceX coming. So that was her dream, and we're going to try to bring this conference back to Brownsville within the next couple of years. I don't have to explain about February, Air Fiesta Charter Days, Mr. Amigo Sombrero Fest. March, Ciclovia. USSSA was going to have a big tournament, but it got rained out. April, this is very exciting. About 3 years ago, Coach Tom Chavez was the athletic director at BISD. Mr. Tuffy Martinez, who was the sports park director at the time, and myself, we went and made a presentation to bring, for the first time, to take the Texas UIL Regional Boys and Girls Soccer Tournament away from San Antonio. Forever, they had it only in San Antonio. Well, Brownsville was the first city besides San Antonio to host it 3 years ago. Well, they're coming back again in April, and that's great news. In June, we're going to have the Texas Police Athletic Federation Games. We're looking at anywhere between 1,200 to 1,400 law enforcement officers coming to Brownsville. I've said this before, Little Miss Kickball, we love them. They have huge tournaments. We're going to have their state tournament here in Brownsville in July. We're looking at 70 teams. I can't tell you which hotel, but one hotel has already called us. They're sold out. Music to our ears. In October, we're going to have the Texas Crime Stoppers State Conference for the first time in Brownsville. In 2016, right now, we're talking, Nick Bennett said he was going to talk with the big dogs. Well, guess what? I got some big dogs with Officer Huerta, Marcos Huerta from PD. He's got them right now at one of the hotels. As soon as I'm through with this presentation, we're going to solicit the National Narcotic Detector Dog Association conference. And somebody made fun of me right a little while ago. I'm not going to say he's wearing a yellow shirt. But he said, what do you mean, Bean? Are the dogs coming for a conference? Yes, they are. The dogs are coming for a conference in Brownsville, Texas, with their trainers. We're going to have a national training seminar here in Brownsville. And I'm going to go and take the national secretary and 2 national board members, a captain and a sergeant from Laredo. Okay, they had it last year in Laredo. And also, we're going to work with the Pan American Golf Association to bring the 3rd regional, national regional, I know it's oxymoron, but that's what they call it, Pan American Golf meeting here in October. And the purpose of that is we want to bring back the 2016 National Pan American Golf Association Tournament in Brownsville, which brings 800 to 900 people. I know people like data and facts, so we came up with some Google Analytics. And once again, we've showed you this before, and again, it's very consistent. United States, we have 42 people going to our webpage, 1,800 from Mexico. Canada has 500, Brazil and India. Go ahead. As normal, very normal. Texas, we have a lot of people from within the state, and that's been very normal. People from within the state travel in Texas, but we have almost 900 people from California checking us out. Some surprised me, Illinois and Georgia, and also Florida. Now, the cities, look at Brownsville. Before we started the ambassador program, that's where we educate our local citizens on what we have to offer here in our own city. Now, Brownsville has more people going to our webpage, and then Houston follows, and Austin, and now look at McAllen's jumped up to 4th. At one time, people from McAllen wouldn't even pay attention to our webpage, and now we have over 2,000 people, and now Dallas is also on the map. Before I go to this page, if you're wondering what they're looking at Brownsville. They go to the webpage looking for Brownsville information. Brownsville, Texas, Texas, Brownsville, birding and cycling is starting to show up a lot, Dr. O'Gowan. I thought you might like that. I like it. Go ahead. Now, the other thing that I want people to please do, I mean, this picture does no justice, but if you go to your webpage, www.brownsville.org, or Brownsville Information, you're going to see one of the award-winning webpage that was given first place a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, by the Texas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureau. And if you notice, we put up, we have Allegiant Airline coming, so we wanted to promote our airport and our airlines, so we put American Airlines, United Airlines, and Allegiant, so people know that we have 3 airlines coming into Brownsville, directly into Brownsville. So please visit your webpage. It's exciting. We also have a calendar of events, and it's as good as people send us information. We depend on people giving us information. So if you want to know some of the happenings, about 75 to 85% of what's happening in Brownsville, go to your webpage, brownsville.org. You know, I could go on and on. I'm so proud of Brownsville. I'm very excited about everything that's going on. But I would entertain any questions.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to commend you on the excellent work that you're doing. I personally have seen you out there in the street with the ambassadors, walking around, and I love that you showcased our 3 airlines, because those are 3 ways that people can get into our city, which are very, very valuable assets. And I've sat here for 4 years, and I've seen remarkable strides. I know Commissioner Villarreal is on that board, and you all are doing a great job with promoting Brownsville. And one more thing, I love that video. I love the music. It's still stuck in my head, so great job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Bean, I also want to echo Commissioner Tetro's remarks and commend you and your wonderful staff.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, you guys are all over the state within a matter of a few days. I don't know how you do it, but you guys do a great job. Usually when I think I have a great idea, they already did it a month ago. So they're on it. They're proactive. Our board is excellent.
Yes.
They're, I want to say, like a model committee or board, because they have committees and subcommittees, and the president and Bean, they all hold them accountable. So it's a very active board, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. This is our webpage. Just to let people know, if you can see, there's some of the events we post. Go ahead. Can you move it up and down? Or see that if you go there, then it tells you how to get to the webpage. This is there every day. And another thing, we have 2 visitor centers. We have the one on Ruben Torres Senior Boulevard. It's the Pyramid, and we also have the Scale House. That's the red brick building, the 2-story building, but there's no second story. It's the one located on 7th and Ringo Street. So please drop by, pick up some brochures, and promote Brownsville. And we also updated Ciclovia, if you notice, to March 22nd. So we're right on it. If you give us the information, we put it right away or as soon as we can. So thank you very much, and I want to thank City Manager Cavler. Every time I go to him, he helps me out and his staff. So thank you to your departments, and thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Bean.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Mayor Pro Temp, on consent item A, it reads on here February. We'd like to change that to March, just so it reflects correct.
Duly noted. I'll entertain a motion. Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against? Motion carries.
Boards and Commission. Number 6, consideration and action to appoint and/or reappoint 3 members to the Brownsville Beautification Committee.
I think we have the chair here. Yes. You want to? Are you reappointing yourself?
I'm here to lobby myself.
So we have three positions open.
Right.
On the board, I think we have had some people that expressed an interest on being reappointed, right?
Correct.
All 3.
Well,
And we do have vacancies. I believe someone that was appointed like 3 months ago or something like that. We never found her. She never answered her emails. She never answered phone calls. She never came to a meeting. We sent her the emails and.
So how many openings are there, Jolie?
Excuse me?
Are there only 3 openings?
I believe there's
3.
3 openings.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Jolie Rubio and Gonzalo Peña the fourth.
Is Mr. Jimmy Paz also available?
Yes, he is. Rose Timmer also wanted to be reappointed. I believe it's,
Are you asking for a slate or are you asking for appointments?
it's up to you what you want to do.
I made a motion.
The people that are serving now, who are up for reappointment, have expressed a desire to be
Commissioner-
reappointed. I know we do have some vacancies too. So,
We can only work on the 3 appointments today.
Okay.
Yeah, I realize that.
Anybody else we have to.
So
right.
I'll go ahead and continue my motion to reappoint Jolie Rubio, Gonzalo Peña the fourth. I hope is that a 4? That's a 4.
Commissioner,
right?
I'll only point out to you that Gonzalo Peña IV is an appointment. So if you're going to appoint Jolie, that would be, you would have to do it one by one unless you're
Okay.
appointing a slate.
Okay.
So what's your appointment?
I'll take Gonzalo Peña the fourth.
I have a motion for Gonzalo Peña IV.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next motion?
I will move to reappoint Board Chair Jolie Rubio.
Second.
All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
I would move to appoint Rose Timmer.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 and at your next meeting, we'll come back with some more appointments for fill our vacancies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 7, consideration and action to appoint 1 member to the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation.
Yes, good evening. We have 1 vacancy on the GBIT board submitted for your all's review and consideration and action this evening.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to appoint John Cowan.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Public hearings. Public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-002-S to allow apartments in a dwelling Z for Lot A of Bautista subdivision located at 687 North Dakota Avenue.
Commissioner, good evening. As you can see on the map projected on the screen, this area shaded in red is on the corner of Houston Road and North Dakota. Is the request on the allowal of apartments on this side. This was before the Planning and Zoning Commission. All in favor of this?
This is a public hearing.
Move to close.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item?
Number 9.
Well,
Action.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 9.
Number 9, public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-003-S to allow a duplex in a dwelling A for Lot 24 of Block 42 of East Brownsville, Section 5, located at 3214 East 26th Street.
Again, we have another map projected on the screen. This area shaded in red is the area requesting the duplex, which is on near South Mills Road and 26th Street. This also was before the Planning and Zoning Commission. All in favor of this case?
Mr. Brewer, I will remind you in the future that Southmost is referred to as Boulevard within the city limits now.
I'm sorry?
I will remind you that for
Oh, yes, sir.
many years,
Yeah.
we are Southmost Boulevard, not Southmost Road anymore.
Okay, I will.
This is a public hearing.
Move
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries.
Item 10, public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-004-S to allow apartments in dwelling G for Lot 25 and Block 28 of El Valle Grande subdivision, Section 3, located near Alton Glover Boulevard and Paris Street.
Again, we have another map, this being West Alton Glover, this area shaded in red on Madrid Street, near to Madrid Street, on the west of Brownsville. Again, this was before the Planning and Zoning Commission. Planning and Zoning Commission in favor, 4-1. 4 being in favor, 1 nay.
This is a public hearing. Dutch?
My name's Dutch Fisher. I'm highly, I don't have a dog in this hunt. I'll be real truthful with you about that, but it only makes sense that should go forth, being that where it is, it's on Alton Glover. It only makes sense. I just wish we had more like that zoned on Alton Glover. So that's just my opinion, and you know what those are all about. But anyway, I'm in full support of it.
No opposition to P&Z?
1 nay.
Nay, but no opposition from the general public?
From one was a concern on the apartment specific use. The owner of the subdivision mentioned that as long as it stays out as a 1 floor and a residential, they will be okay with it.
And they did have a specific use?
Yeah, they have a specific use and for a 1 floor and residential.
This is still a public hearing? I'll entertain a motion.
Move to close public hearing.
Second. I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. This is an action item.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Number 11, public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-005-S to allow apartments G and to remove the 031 overlay district in general retail H for Reserve A of Arturo Phase 1 located at 327 Couch Road.
Again, we have another map projected on the screen. This area shaded in red is fronting Coast Road, very close or very near FM 803 on the north side of Brownsville. Again, this was before the Planning and Zoning Commission. 3 on favor, 1 being nay. On this case, there were nobody from the public opposing the specific use.
This is a public hearing.
Move to close.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Action item.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries.
Number 12, public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-006 to rezone from general retail G to dwelling G for 20.662 acres of Block C of Brownsville Land and Improvement Company subdivision located near Morrison and Missouri Pacific Railroad.
Again, we have another map. This area shaded in red on the south side of Morrison Road, which is existing Morrison Road, right here, this area. Home Depot being on this area right here so we can have a better view. Morrison. Right now, there's no existing cross because of the railroad track. The proposal is for this to be a single-family subdivision all the way to about right here. Again, this was before the Planning and Zoning Commission. All in favor of this.
This is a public hearing. Mr. Dusty?
Sorry?
Behind you.
Behind you.
Sorry.
Roberto Ureste. Come up, please. Is this located right on the other side of the Morris Road? The railroad tracks are right there, and Morris Road continues over to the other side, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like to ask the commissioners that please, some people have no idea. With all the technology we have, you can have a picture of these areas, of the buildings. When we looked at the Alton Glover apartments right now, okay, the only concern is in and out. How many will they have to come? The traffic is going to flow in there, and it's dangerous too. But the thing is, they need to start showing a picture, not an aerial picture. Get down on the floor. You need to show the public. Public has no ideas what's going on. And some of them, it does pertain in their districts. I would like to see in the future, with all this technology, simple camera, one simple picture. The railroad is right there. We can't cross it. I can't discuss that on this thing, just on the apartments or whatever they're going to build it. But sooner or later, it has to be open to get better access. But I would love to see if you all, with all this technology, a simple camera, simple picture, we have better ideas. Thank you.
City Secretary, for the benefit of Mr. Oresti's request, I'll ask you to scroll down through our package so that he can see the pictures that are included within the item, as we're discussing. Thank you.
Move to close.
This is a public hearing?
Or you have a comment?
Or you go to our website and you can see everything too. I've got a bunch of aerials, I've got a bunch on the ground. I'm here to speak about this particular item, but before I begin, I'd like to thank all of you commissioners. First of all, I'd like to thank you for sincerely, every one of you, regardless if I agree with the way you vote or I disagree with the way you vote, I sincerely believe that you're voting with your heart and your conscience. And that takes a lot, especially in these days, and I mean that sincerely. That's what I'd like to say about that. Thank y'all so much. Please keep up the good work as far as that's concerned. I see no ulterior motives, which is so strange because I am privy to have gone to numerous meetings, municipal meetings, not just here in Brownsville, not just here in the Valley, but we've got it together here, and that's why I'm glad. Another question I just had real quick, and it was something that was before the public comment, but does someone need to be a citizen of Brownsville to be appointed to the beautification committee, or can someone own a business in Brownsville?
They'll get to that. Can we get to the agenda, to the
Yes,
49? We got
yes,
a
you
49 item
can.
agenda.
Yes, you can.
Thank you, Dutch.
Okay, thank you. As far as that 20.662 acres out of Block C, I'm highly in favor of that. I don't have a dog in that direct hunt, but I have a dog just to the west of it, and a big dog. And we need more rooftops there. I think more rooftops. A lot of people say, well, rooftops bring business. Well, I believe business brings rooftops just as well. And what's on the drawing board for there? It's the last quadrant we have in Brownsville that's open. And you're going to see some mighty exciting things if this thing it goes through. So I just want to say I'm very, very much in favor of it.
Thank you.
Thank
They'll
you
get, they'll get you an
very
answer
much.
to your question.
Thank you.
Okay. This is a public hearing? Thank you.
Motion to close public hearing?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Action item?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Number 13, public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-901 to rezone from dwelling Z to dwelling F for Gardenwood Section 2 located near Mystic Grove and Garden Woods Avenue.
Again, we have another map projected on the screen, this area shaded in red, the rezone from dwelling Z to dwelling F. This is changing the setback, the front setbacks of the property. Again, this was before the Planning and Zoning Commission, all in favor of the reclassification.
Front setback from what to what?
From 30 to 25, which will be less normal to the city of Brownsville.
Okay, this is a public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tetro and a second by Commissioner Villarreal. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item?
Motion to approve.
Second?
I have a motion by Commissioner Gowan, second by Commissioner Tetro. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 14, public hearing and action on first reading on ordinance number 235-2015-902 to rezone the apartment H to dwelling A for Block 5 of Rio Viejo subdivision located near Calle Retama and Calle Anuca.
Commissioners, Mayor Pro Tem, at this time, staff will like to, for this item to be continued, to be tabled.
Motion.
Do we have to go through the
Do
public
we have to
hearing?
motion?
No. I'll entertain the motion to table.
Motion to table?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Portillo and a second by Commissioner Villarreal to table. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
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 Please note my abstention.
Items table. Public hearing.
Public hearing.
Mr. Roberto Resti. 1220 Calle Pluton.
Consideration and action to authorize city staff to use the plastic bag fee fund to refurbish 2 large pieces of heavy equipment for the city's landfill in the amount of $736,104.91.
Good evening, Honorable Pro Tem and City Commissioners. City staff is requesting authorization to use plastic bag fees to refurbish 2 large pieces of heavy equipment for the city landfill. The 2 pieces of equipment in question here is the 1995 D8 dozer and a 2008 compactor. The functions of these machines is to stay in compliance with TCEQ regulations by compacting and covering municipal solid waste. TCEQ regulations are designed to prevent negative impacts to the environment. Refurbishing of both units is due to the age of the equipment that surpasses industry standards operating life and increased maintenance costs. Refurbishing both units costs little over $736,000. Replacing of both units costs little over $1.3 million. We're requesting funding from the plastic bag ordinance fee in the amount of $736,104.91. Current available balance as of yesterday is $1,058,281. Allowable use as per legal department's opinion.
My only question with this is how does this piece of equipment qualify under the bag ban ordinance? I was under the impression that it was for beautification.
It's from litter control.
Environmental cleanup. Stuff, things involving environmental cleanup would fit within it. Now, whether or not this commission wishes to use that money for that purpose is up to the committee.
The bag ban, in essence, was created to save the landfill and to help the landfill.
Extend the life of it, right?
I will move to approve if there aren't any more questions.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Villarreal and a second by Commissioner Portillo. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Nay. Thank you. Note Commissioner Tetro's nay. Motion passes. Item 7, can I have a motion to move item number 27 out of order, please?
I'll make that motion. Move item 27, right? Up to the next item.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Villarreal to move item 27, second by Commissioner Gowan. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Item 27.
Item 27, consideration and action to reject proposals received for RFP number CSS 0301215, Texas Safe Shelter Initiative.
Before you begin,
Yes.
be very elegant, not elegant, but explain it correctly so that the people can understand why it is that we're rejecting, and so they can have a full understanding as to why, and that they're not being cheated out of a project.
Okay, I'll do my best, and if there's any questions, we'll answer those. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners. At the request of the Public Information Services Department, the Purchasing and Contract Service Office solicited requests for proposals for the construction of 2 safe shelter domes, one at the Central Library, DR 1791-362, and one at the Southmost Library, DR 1791-361. We had project milestones that were accomplished, and those are as follows. Legal advertisement appeared in the Brownsville Herald 2 times, on December 7th, 2014 and December 14th, 2014, and was posted to the Texas Bid System website. A pre-proposal meeting was scheduled on Wednesday, December 17th, and 2 vendors were present. Sealed proposals were received for the subject projects on January 27, 2015 at 3 p.m. at the Purchasing Conference Room. 2 proposals were received. An evaluation committee was formed. An evaluation committee meeting was conducted on Wednesday, February 4th, 2015 to discuss the evaluation process and proceed to score the proposals submitted by the 2 vendors. The committee members met again on Friday, February 6, 2014 to independently score the proposals. That should be 2:15, sorry. On Tuesday, February 10, 2015, the evaluation committee held a conference call with the highest ranked firm to negotiate the best and final offer. The committee reviewed the proposals, and those are in your packet as well. The committee reviewed the proposals and the requirements of the grant in relation to the contractor's submitted timeline for the project. The committee was informed by the Office of Grant Management that as part of the cost overrun request, all FEMA-eligible activities must be submitted to TDM, Texas Department of Emergency Management, for review prior to receiving approval. Therefore, the city must request that the bid proposals be itemized before submitting to TDM for further review, causing a delay. After reviewing the submitted timeline and considering the anticipated 3 to 4 month review process at TDM, the contractor will not be able to meet the project by the deadline of August 31st, 2016. Based on the information provided by the Office of Grants Management and the risk of not meeting the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program deadline of August 31st, 2016, it is the committee's recommendation to reject the proposals.
And later on, you're going to show the prices also?
Yes.
Okay. But this item is just for
Rejecting
the rejection.
Yes.
Okay. There's a further explanation. It'll come in the next item. So I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. To reject?
To reject.
I'm sorry, motion to reject.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gowan to reject and a second by Commissioner Villarreal. All in favor answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item 17, consideration and action on resolution number 2015-018 to authorize the city manager or his designees to act as the official representative of the city in matters related to the Community Development Block Grant Program and Action Plan and declaring an effective date.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Commissioners. I presented this resolution on January 20th, 2015, which was approved by City Commission. There has been a change since then. We will need to now reflect the title Assistant Director of Grant Management and Community Development instead of Senior Program Manager, since there was a change in the position. In summary, the resolution allows the city manager to designate the Director of Office of Grant Management and Community Development and the Assistant Director as the official representative of the city in matters related to CDBG, home, and ESG, and to include all pertaining documents to those programs.
I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Villarreal and a second by Commissioner Tetra. All in favor answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item 18, consideration and action to accept the City of Brownsville's recommendations regarding the Federal Emergency Management Agency's community safe rooms.
Who's going to be presenting? Oh, sorry.
Yes. Good evening. We're requesting your consideration and action to accept the City of Brownsville's recommendation regarding FEMA's community safe rooms. On January 6, 2015, you may recall that we went before City Commission to propose building 2 community safe rooms out of the original 4, and this was due to various challenges, including funding and deadlines. And the 2 that were proposed is a community safe room at the Sports Park Dome, also known as Dome 359, and a community safe room at the Southmost Library. And at that date, City Commission approved. If you can see, we have here a timeline for the library community safe rooms. It gives you a background of the timeline of these safe rooms for the library and what has been done and where we are now. As you can see, this process started in late 2012. Site selection of both library safe rooms was finalized in February 2013, and the selection of architect and engineer services was finalized later in the summer. The architectural design, submittal, review, and approval phase of the library rooms to FEMA occurred between July 2013 to August 2014. The procurement process began in the fall of 2014, and bid negotiations began early this year. In regards to Sports Park Dome 359, in February 2015, the City Commission approved the guaranteed maximum price for the construction of the Sports Park Dome number 359. And with this dome, the secondary use is a gym. As you can see, the total project cost is over $5.8 million, and you can see the total city cost and the FEMA share. And the notice to proceed issued to Spa Glass was in March of this year. The pre-construction meeting was already held this week, and there will be already presence on site. The anticipated groundbreaking for that dome is in April 2015. So that's the one that was awarded in February, and we've already begun with that dome. There is a total of $3.9 million in available CO funds with revised 2012 and 2013 budgets for the Community Safe Rooms project. This is from the Central Library Dome, the Southmost Library Dome, and the Second Sports Park Dome. This evening, we have two proposals to present. The first one is to cancel the Southmost Dome and reallocate funds to the Sports Park Dome number 2, and this would be just a shell. The total cost is over $5 million. It would only consist of the shell of the dome, which is the pure concrete. Additional funding will be needed for the secondary use, for example, for a gym, and funding will be needed for operations and maintenance. The second proposal is to reallocate funds from Southmost Dome to street and drainage improvements. This will allow over $3.9 million to be used for street and drainage improvements. Staff recommends this proposal. The city has a long list of streets needing improvement, and the city, through its Community Voice campaign, has collected community input, and it has identified that street improvements is a top priority for the citizens. Okay, we'll continue. As far as for the timeline for Sports Park, as you can see, it's not up there, but this process started in April of 2012. The final FEMA design was approved in November 2013. Due to FEMA requirements, the process is lengthy. Please note that as far as state trends, there were about over 60 community safe room projects in the state of Texas, and currently there are only 26 active projects. So most of the cities have voluntarily withdrawn. Only 5 have broken ground. Part of it are the challenges that include FEMA deadline for project completion, which was described earlier, August 31st, 2016. The cost overrun request, which is an additional 90-day delay upon received. As part of the cost overrun request, FEMA eligible activities must be submitted to TDM for review. Due to this process for cost overrun requests, if we don't meet that deadline, the city is at risk and is responsible for paying 100% of the remaining project cost. We have reviewed all possible options to move forward with the community safe rooms, and staff recommendation is again Proposal 2, which is the most cost-effective for the city. It'll allow money for street improvements and drainage, and at the end, we have that one dome that has already previously been awarded.
Any comments from
Any
the commission?
questions?
Questions or comments? I have to leave it on the record, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you. Like I've told you before, building a dome at the sports park to service when we're almost at the outskirts of the city with Olmito, and taking a dome away from Southmost, where people would benefit from it when needed. I appreciate the money for the streets, but what have we been funding? We've been funding other projects, and we as a city commission, myself included because I sit here with the current commission, we've neglected streets over the last 3 years. Now all of a sudden we're going to take money from the domes to fund streets. That's fine, you're going to do my streets. But hear me out. A dome on the north side of town at the sports park, used for a gym, I understand the dual purpose. But you also have to understand that the citizens of my area are the people that don't live in windstorm certified homes. The people that live by the sports park live in 100% windstorm certified homes that pay their windstorm certification insurance. So the people of my area would benefit from a dome because their houses sit on cinder blocks. Their houses are built out of pieces. And like I told you, I'm going to go with you. Your staff has put in a lot of work, but you have to hear me out. I'm here to represent my people, not any other interests. And election year or not, we've been going through this for 3 years. This is the third year that we're working on this project. 5 years. Okay? And to throw money at a couple of streets my way, and in my opinion, cheat my people out of a dome, doesn't really fly in my book. But I will respect the work that you've done. I appreciate the money that you've allocated for my district. It is going to help, no doubt. But it says a lot about what we've done over the last 4 years. And what are we doing? And where have we put our money? And now all of a sudden we're worried about streets. Okay? I go home and I sleep with a very healthy conscience, not worrying about, have I tried to do my job? Have I tried to do it? Yes. Are we trying to cover up now? In my opinion, yes. But I'm not going to take away from the work that you and your staff have done.
Thank you. And I understand it, ideally, we would like one at the sports park and one at the southmost.
It's just not cost effective.
Right, at this point, because of as far as the library domes, it has different specs. It was a lot more costly, and it started later as a process because of the FEMA turnaround, and so it's the timeline as well.
I just had a quick question. You said the $3.9 million that were left over would also be used for drainage improvements, right?
That would be, yes, that's from CO funds, and
Okay.
the proposal is to allocate that for streets and drainage.
So ultimately, even if it's not the big hurricane, even if it's any hurricane, this
Flooding.
$3.9 million is servicing our citizens by clearing those streets to let them exit to a safer route, whether it be at a dome or higher ground.
Right.
Okay.
We would improve those streets. And the sports park dome that's located, it's an evacuation route.
Right.
And Mayor Pro Tem, I would like to say that I agree with your concerns. I understand them very much so. But I would also like to commend city staff's efforts. I took the time, I know we were rescheduling back and forth, but I took the time to meet with you all. They were very well prepared. They went through every single detail. And sometimes the deadlines and the different organizations, it doesn't always work out. But I do feel that it was a long period of time, and we have allocated money prior to other things. So I guess lesson learned.
I agree. Excellent work, and
Thank you.
keep doing it.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is an action item.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gowan and a second by Commissioner Portillo.
The second proposal?
The second proposal.
Yes, we're recommending the second proposal.
To approve proposal number 2. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 19, consideration and action to request a time extension to the Federal Emergency Management Agency to complete the construction of the community safe room under project number DR 1791-368.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, this extension is not necessary after the item that you just approved to go with Proposal 2, which cancels the Sports Park 2 dome.
What's the motion?
Move to strike. Do I have a motion?
Move to strike?
Second?
I have a motion by Commissioner Gowan to strike, second by Commissioner Villarreal. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries.
Item 20, consideration and action on Resolution 2015-019 to authorize publication of notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation to finance various public improvements in the city.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, members of the City Commission, I'll start off with the first handout. which indicates the issuance of $9,115,000 in certificates of obligation for various projects that are listed on page 204. Streets and drainage, $3,114,440. Park building improvements, $400,000. A zoo, a building, $125,000. That's for replacement of the roofs. 3 ambulances, $240,000. We also want to contribute a local share for the multi-level parking garage, Brownsville Metro Bus, traffic signals, and also the local share for the remodeling of the Steckman building. On page 3 or 4, if you go back to, if you look at column B, it gives you some of the growth as far as tax rolls, and we're being very conservative as to the growth, because in the last 3 years we've gone over the 2.5% increase, and so we're doing a very low growth. As a result, if we issue these certificates, if you approve the issuance of these certificates, our tax rates on column J, you have for 2015 you have 2409. This is for debt service. It will go up slightly, very little, at 2459, which is a dent, very small percentage. And because of the growth, we'll be able to handle the increase. On the next page, or let's go to the other one. The PowerPoint. Again, this is the same item that I just covered earlier, total amount $9,115,000. This is a reallocation that was spoken earlier regarding the amount of monies that we are no longer be using for the construction of the domes. We are releasing out of the 2012 CO fund, Fund 87, $2,306,885, and we're also releasing $1,650,000 from the 2013 CO fund 88, and that's the number that was given to you earlier, $3,956,885. What does this do to the streets? Well, we have the $3,956,885 that's being reallocated from the monies that were not being spent on the domes of $3,956,885, plus the additional new CO that we're asking you to approve tonight will be $3,114,440. For altogether, the total monies for streets that will be allocated will be $7,071,325. This is if this item gets approved tonight, we will have this notice on the newspaper Friday, this coming Friday, and then the following Friday, in order to meet the requirements of the law. It has to be published in the newspaper 60 days before the COs are issued. This is a calendar of events. Tonight, we're asking for your approval to adopt this resolution. The first public hearing, or first notice on the intent to issue certificates is Friday, March the 20th, a week later on the 27th, and then the week of April 6th, we will conduct telephone calls with the rating agencies, and on April 21st, we will come to you to adopt the ordinance to sell the obligations.
Second with your report? Okay. So this is an action item.
Motion to approve? Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gowan, a second by Commissioner Portillo. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you, Pete.
Item number 21, consideration and action to adopt reimbursement resolution 2015-20 expressing official intent to reimburse the tax-exempt obligations proceeds costs associated with certain improvements or provide the city's local share for certain capital improvements. Oh. Sorry.
This is just a reimbursement, Honorable Mayor, Pro Tem members of the City Commission. This is just a reimbursement resolution that will allow us to spend the money that was just approved in the previous item, so we can start spending and the general fund can get reimbursed from the proceeds from the CL. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you gonna present?
You need an action on item 21.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gowan, a second by Commissioner Portillo. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion passes.
Item 22, consideration and action to accept and award and expend funds for the local border security grant program, Border Star, through the Texas Homeland Security State Administrative Agency.
Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners, on behalf of the Office of Grant Management, please accept the LBSP grant award totaling $125,000. The purpose of the Local Border Security Grant Program is to support overtime and operational costs for increased patrol and investigate capacity for law enforcement conducting border security operations. Please note there is no local match requirement.
This is an action item.
Motion to approve?
I have a motion by Commissioner Villarreal, a second by Commissioner Tetro. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries.
Purchase bids and contracts. Item 23, consideration and action to request authorization to renew the term of contract for uniform purchase and delivery for the B Metro Department.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Commissioners. Brownsville Metro has received a request from Elaine Gibbs, Inc., also known as Lynx Uniforms, to exercise a renewal of 1 year per the original agreement signed and approved by City Commission on March of 2012. In addition to the 1 year renewal, Lynx has requested an amendment to the agreement to include long sleeve shirts at the prices indicated on your package. All the other prices will be maintained at the original price quoted. Funding for this contract will be derived from our operating budget line item 65564. And B Metro recommends approval of the 1 year renewal option to include the amended request and adding the long sleeve shirts to the agreement.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Tetro, second by Commissioner Portillo. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Item 24, consideration and action to request authorization to renew the contract for transit advertising services for the B Metro Department.
Can we do 24 and 25 together? They're basically the same thing.
And 25, Mayor Pro Temp, is that?
That's fine.
Fine. Action item 25, consideration and action to request authorization to renew the contract for bus stop shelter advertisements for B Metro Department.
Contact was made with with Mr. Robert Hashar, the bus vice president, for the advertising contract for both our advertising on our shelters as well as on our buses. Both parties have met, and we are recommending to continue the services as stipulated in the contract. Brownsville recommends approval of the third and final contract agreement renewal for both the bus stop benches and shelters advertising services and for the bus exterior and interior advertising services.
Remember, Robert Odesti's not here, but I'm going to ask you. Okay? We're approving the contract for advertisement, and that's great, and that's revenue that's coming into the city. Norma, I need you to go by my district and review my bus stops.
Okay.
We can put advertising in there, but I need bus stops. I don't just need benches.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, we're in the process of putting some bus stops right now, but yes, we'll definitely.
I want the pretty ones.
The pretty ones, okay.
Where we can put advertising in there and everything. Okay.
Duly noted.
This is an action item for 24 and 25.
I'll move to approve both items, 24 and 25.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Villarreal and a second by Commissioner Tetro to approve items 24 and 25. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against? Motion carries.
And just so you know, I went to go pick up a package at the B Metro, and oh my God, it's beautiful in there, and it's just so cool to see everybody. Good job.
Thank you.
Item 26, consideration and action to award a contract for the purchase and delivery of a quick deployment compact robot for the Brownsville Police Department.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners. The Office of Emergency Manager, Homeland Security recommends consideration and action to award a contract for the purchase and delivery of a quick deployment combat robot to ICOR Technologies, Inc. of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, in the amount of $134,989.40. The procurement reflects GSA contract pricing. This equipment will be used by our Police Department Bomb Squad unit. Funding for this procurement is available through the State Homeland Security Program Grant Fund in the amount of $122,710, and the remaining $12,279.40 with local funds. Staff recommends approval.
This is an action item. Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Tetra and a second by Commissioner Villarreal. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 28, consideration and action to award a contract to rebuild 1995 Cat DA dozer and a 2008 Cat 82HH compactor for the Brownsville Public Works Department Landfill Division.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Commissioners, excuse me. Tonight, we're requesting your approval to award a contract to rebuild a 1995 DA dozer and a 2008 Cat compactor for our Public Works Landfill Division from Holt Cat of San Antonio, Texas, in the amount of $736,104.91. Both pieces of equipment will have a certified powertrain rebuilt and a warranty of 3 years each. Holt Cat is the official regional sales and certified maintenance service provider for Caterpillar Cat equipment in the lower Rio Grande Valley. These two pieces of equipment have surpassed the manufacturer recommended life cycle schedule of 5 years and are no longer cost-effective to maintain the city's fleet. The city landfill's permit is regulated and administered by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ, and requires to have a minimal amount of equipment available for waste operations tonnage acceptance rate. These pieces of equipment are critical in carrying out our daily operation, such as compacting and covering municipal waste in accordance with the TCEQ regulations, which are designed to prevent negative impacts in our environment. Funding for this contract is available from the City of Brownsville Plastic Bag Fund, account number GL01414L943. Staff is recommending this approval.
Donna, would you please, would you please reiterate for the viewing audience and for everybody here that something like this, putting us out of compliance, basically shuts down our landfill?
Yes, sir. It's if we were to be out of compliance, it would cost us $10,000 a day. Plus, it would really diminish our credibility with our good standings that we have right now with TCEQ. We thought about buying a new piece of equipment, which was probably valued at about $1 million plus, and we're able to refurbish 2 pieces of equipment with that dollar amount. So.
Thank you. This is an action item.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Villarreal, second by Commissioner Portillo. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
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 Aye. All against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 29, consideration and action to reject bids received of the term contract for reflective sheething for the Traffic Department.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners, I'm here on behalf of Mr. Esparza, the Traffic Director, and the purpose of this item is to reject the bid received for reflective sheeting for signage. We recommend approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, answer by motion by Commissioner Villarreal, seconded by Commissioner Gowan. All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against? Motion carries. Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, answer by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Stand adjourned.